Had to put the home team on my back for this one since clearly this is the last year the United States will exist. Oh my God. But listen, I just finished the season for Castlevenia Nocturne and I had a time. And to be honest with you, I usually go into things with the perspective that I want to watch something for its enjoyment. But due to be an over consumer that I am, I have a tendency to still have a critical eye on things. Mostly because I care about this art form, and another is due to the fact of there's just a high amount of shitty shows that are put out. So it's hard to escape. Quick hair change. But this was an amazing piece of television, and I really appreciate the work that the writers, the animators, and everyone in between really put into this show. Not only did it live up to the first season, but you can tell that it had a story to tell and knew exactly what it wanted to be. And for that, I am forever grateful. Now, there are a couple of things I want to highlight about this show that really made me like really, really happy to experience. And I want to start off with a theme of pain that reverberated throughout the different storylines. I really appreciated how the characters were shown to work through their grief in their own ways and how that affected their actions and decisions throughout the season. Some found courage in the name of love, some reclaimed their power, and some even created their own monsters out of it. But Maria's depiction of pain was extremely compelling to me because it really highlighted how easy and how much pain can change you in an instant. But releasing yourself from that pain is a hard journey that we do not always recover from completely. Now, I will be spoiling the show from here on out, so if you did not see it, I would say click off and come back. But if you have seen it, or you're just like me who really doesn't care sometimes, you can continue. During the season, she is angry that her mother was taking from her, and that wayward men like her father were the cause of all the suffering and danger that everybody was in. So her magic changes, and she is unleashing animals that she would never be able to create before. They are bigger, more dangerous, and volatile than we saw in season one, representing that her pain and anger is steady taking over the light that she once held inside of her before. Her optimism in those around her is definitely diminishing. And she uses these animals to kill the one that she is the most angry with, which is her father. But even after doing this, she's not happy. It doesn't bring her peace. But we don't even really have time to acknowledge that because one of the beasts that she has summoned is no longer listening to her and is getting ready to attack her, actually. She commands it to return back to where it came from, but she is not able to send it back alone. An ally that she has to step in for them to be able to defeat it. And I thought that it was such a powerful way to show how good and easy it may feel to unleash the power of all the pain that you might be feeling that's bubbling up inside of you, built over time. But like fire, once it's out, it's sometimes hard to control. It has a mind of its own when unchecked, and it has the capacity to take over, which I'm sure she did not fully expect. Another thing I really enjoyed was her coming to the realization that the pain she was holding on to was not who she really was. Was she mad? Yes. Was she hurting? Absolutely. But it wasn't her, and she was going to have to work hard to bring her magic back into the light that she once had. And she begins to work on this, but as she's practicing her magic, there are points where her animals are still coming out very dark and black. And as her friends are about to fight to send it back, she asks for them to wait because she begins to change them in real time from darkness to light. And it's a beautiful moment that really gives you hope that you can overcome these moments of hardship, that the pain that you face does not have to become who you are, but it is up to you and you alone to make that decision to heal. We see during the main battle that she is able to summon stronger animals than she was before the pain, but now it is reflective of the light that she used to carry, and in the end, they win the war. But what really impresses me about this plot point is how Maria is forever changed because of her experiences. And though she was able to reclaim her light, we see in one of the final scenes that she is very much still upset and in pain. That pain is not gone from her. She still has some darkness that lingers below the surface that may become a potential threat later on. And honestly, yes, this is something that most shows won't highlight. So even though it was brief, I'm happy that they showed that healing is not something that is linear, but something that will consistently need to be worked on in order to move on and stay in that light. For most, pain is usually something that needs to be defeated and let go. And this is only like halfway true. Pain is not something we can escape because it comes and goes like the wind, but it is what we do with that thought, that emotion, that feeling that defines who we really are. And I'm excited to see if they explore this more in the next season. I'm really not doing the show enough justice, but I just have not seen this theme depicted this well in like forever. Maybe like the Avatar, The Last Airbender. I don't know. That was like 15 years ago. Oh my gosh. Now this is just it's just for me, to be honest with you. The next thing that I wanted to highlight is the way that the Black women were written in this show. It was so nice to see the dichotomy of two main characters that were present in the show. One is sometimes really great to have like a badass female character. Like I love villains, but it was also like really great to see us on the other side of things. Like come on. Because I really just want to praise the fact that these women were by no means side characters, okay? They had full character arcs and moments to really shine this season, and it made me feel seen as a fan of this medium and art space. Thank you so much. Because as a girl growing up who loved like the fantasy genre, you really have to get used to remaking like the main characters in your own image if you want like any kind of representation. Because we are rarely the main character. And if we are a prominent side character, it is because we are the help in so many words, right? But I have to say, these two women were not that. They had their own wants and goals that really just happened to be in tandem with the main characters. And let me tell you something. It was nothing to write those people off if they no longer fit that storyline. Okay, honey, they were gone. I also really appreciated the respect the writers had to pull in these characters' cultural history and background. I don't think I ever saw Orishas depicted, let alone in such a respectful and thoughtful way on television. It wasn't used as a gimmick or for laughs or anything of the like, and it made it feel very special to me. It was a breath of fresh air to see the history grounded this way and used as a source of power and guidance, especially for Annette's character. The ancestral moments were done so beautifully and really showed that it's possible to have diverse characters and meaningful storytelling. You can do both things at the same time. also, we finally get the guy. Come on. One time for the one time. It was so nice to see us get the main character because that never happens either. I was so happy this ship made it out of the the depths of despair because a lot of people refuse to see the vision, especially after the first season, but I don't know how you missed it. Like, how else could they point it out to you, babe? Because most of you, I'm sure you understand how racist certain fandoms can be when it comes to shipping like the main characters together, especially if one of them is black. They will rather ship a brother and sister together before they will a black woman, especially if that man is white. I don't know what the fever dream is there, but it's just a lot. But it was built up so nicely, and I'm happy that it was not a struggle of or one that we know will end because he's really in love with someone else. And Invincible, I'm talking about you, babe. But in all seriousness, this really made my heart warm because I know that there are young girlies like me out there who would who would read or watch this stuff and not see themselves. So this definitely feels like a win. Shit, the girly in me now feels like it's a win. So I'm happy that we got something good and it didn't feel off because of like one thing or another. We got to see two beautiful dark-skinned women represented and given the screen time and story that they deserved. So thank you, and I hope that it gets another season because I am now a forever fan of this show. I was before the first season, so I don't know what I'm talking about, but y'all get the idea. If you have watched the show, please let me know what you thought about it. I can't wait to have the conversations with you. And if you haven't watched the show, you really need to hurry up so we can talk about it, okay? Like, what is this? All right. But until next time, love you all. Mwah.